Welcome back. This is Dr. Louise Perkins, and today we're going to be talking about the big 4, 5, 6 technology companies that have the capacity to modify our social structure. We will not talk about Google as much as some other companies because I have used Google as an entirely separate lecture. Google started out as an online search engine. They built a sort of a new data structure. You might call it a stub, a tree with only one branch. It really had a couple, but they built a very wide, narrow tree to try and optimize searches with. And they built it by hand. And at first they put each component together by hand and then wrote programs to try and crawl around the internet and try to put things together. And slowly they tried to improve their results. We'll also talk about Apple, which is included in the big 4. Apple originally started as a hardware company. The original idea was to create a PC that cost a lot less by using a lot fewer chips. And that's where Wozniak's brilliance came in at. He knew those chips backwards and forward and was able to put together a full computer set with about 13 chips, whereas others at the time had 40, and that brought his cost in much less. Microsoft, I am considering also in this group. Not everyone does. They don't make the big 4, but that's why I called this the big 5. Microsoft, of course, was originally known for software. It is not always deemed leading edge enough, including IBM, also not deemed leading edge enough to be in the big 4 innovation companies. However, I have found some of Microsoft's, I don't want to say products, more like product shifts, to be enormously important in innovation. So I'm not sure that they're giving credit in the same way that I would here. And believe it or not, IBM has done some amazing innovation in the last couple of decades. Innovation, I think, more important than Google's, except for their original search task. And that will be clarified a little bit more in the Google lecture. So Microsoft switched, believe it or not, to NT, new technology, in 2000, was enormously important. And during that switch, they moved to a significant amount of software changes that truly improved the field. I don't think they get credit for that innovation. Microsoft's delivery of a gaming system developed an awfully lot of the artificial intelligence methods for, I never remember if it's boosting or bagging, guys. But that's what made the Wii work. And that work demonstrated the importance of aggregation in AI, an enormously important concept that we have used. IBM, on the other hand, developed artificial intelligence that appears to meet the Turing test. That's important to me. They also did a significant amount of work the decade before in network development to be able to move from an electronic component to an optical network and back to electronic components in very fast switching times. That work was done under budget, ahead of schedule, and worked better than anyone imagined. I think that is enormously important for the current supercomputers that we have that share lots of inner networks in order to be what appears to be a large monolithic system comprised of a lot of PCs. So I actually think IBM and Microsoft are very innovative companies. Amazon is mostly known for merchandising. They sell things, but they would like to get into lots of other areas as well. Facebook is, of course, known for social media. They would like to expand too. They have enough trouble in their own sphere, I think. So the big 4 are usually considered GAFA, Google, Amazon, Facebook, and Apple. I added Microsoft and IBM parenthetically because I think they have done some of the most important work setting up our current systems. Why are they important? These companies are driving technological and social change. The decisions they make, the products they produce, change our world for better or worse, for more efficiency or less efficiency, to focus on certain things or not focus on others. The Big Four were originally selected by Eric Schmidt from Google, so that seems a little incestuous. Phil Simon, who's a management consultant, and Scott Galloway, who's in marketing and business. I wanted to talk about Big Three from the past. There are lots of Big Threes. This is a Big Four. During the automobile era, when automobiles dominated the United States GDP, we had General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler. Japan had Toyota, Nissan, and Honda. France had Renault, Peugeot, and Citroën. Germany had Audi, which is really VW, which is the biggest car company in the world right now, Mercedes-Benz, and BMW. There are many business theories that say 3 companies are needed for competition. If you only have 2, they're more likely just to split up the business and both stay happy. But 3 are supposed to drive competition. In cereal, we had 3 major companies: General Mills from Minnesota, Post, and Kellogg's, both from Battle Creek, Michigan, which I find amazing. That was definitely competition going on there. And that wasn't just competition between Post and Kellogg's, but even internally, there was a lot of competition pressure in those companies. They were family companies. So what are we expecting from big corporations, like the corporations that now dominate IT? We would like them to demonstrate corporate social responsibility. It's called CSR. And the tenets of CSR are that they must deal ethically. They must be honest. They must have integrity, and they must show respect. Those are the things we're looking for from the Big Four corporations in high-tech. You can see these are the same things we would like from ourselves. We would like us to be ethical. We would like us to be honest, not only with the world, but even with ourselves. It's actually harder to be honest with yourself in some ways. We would like us to have integrity, to be able to make decisions from a consistent ethical approach. And we would like us to respect ourselves and others as we do so. At this point in the lecture, and I will end this part after here, I would like you to stop and watch a YouTube video called "The Era of Corporate Social Responsibility is Ending." This 8-9-minute video talks about how a lot of the ethics in corporate America are moving to personal ethics, that businesses that are smaller than large corporations have been left out of corporate social responsibility because they didn't have the funds, and how workers, employees of smaller companies want also to show corporate responsibility. And they have, in fact, been moving to a way that all workers can share in corporate responsibility. It is so. I'm going to end this video, and you can go here and watch this. So I would like you to watch this video because it begins to move the idea of corporate responsibility onto employees. And as most of you will be employees in the future, I would like you to see how that trend is changing.